Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I was feeling really excited to play with the makeup today, so this is the look that we ended up with. It's just this beautiful spotlight eye that just carries all the way up into the brow, and I think it is amazing. My lips are a little bit of a mess, but don't mind that. I mean, we had a little struggle there at the end, but it's fine, you'll see. So I saw this picture of Kim Kardashian on Makeup by Mario's Instagram page a long time ago, and for some reason I was like, let's do it today. So this is the photo. Ooh. Obviously, his is a little better, plus his photo's retouched a little bit, and I don't have that going on, but I feel like we did a really good job. What do you think? If you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching and we're gonna get right into it. This is fun, nice and zoomed in. Okay, so this eye's obviously finished. And the other eye, I just have some e.l.f. Camo Concealer down and some translucent powder to prime, and then I did my eyebrow. But we're going to do the whole look on this eye, all zoomed in. Going into the Milani Soft and Sultry palette, we're taking this shade right here. This is going in the crease. I'm gonna pull up her picture really quick. Her crease is very, very dark, and as you can see, it's really rounded. It comes all the way around to her inner corner, and it rounds down on the edge over here too. So we're gonna kind of copy that shape and just put this transition shade all over. Then taking that same color underneath, I'm really gonna smoke this out. We're really connecting up here to kind of round this whole transition shade around the whole eye. And even in the inner corner, she doesn't really have like an inner corner highlight, so this shade's almost going to connect around here as well. Just gonna kind of pat this on the inner and outer corners to start deepening those up. We're using this shade right here to deepen up outer and inner corner. This is more of a shimmer, but she looked like she had more kind of shimmers on the lid, so we're just using that. It doesn't come off very shimmery either. Smoothing over the edges with my original blending brush now. Okay, so to give that inner like spotlight eye look, we're going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer again. Just taking this on a small flat brush, grabbing just a tiny bit, and we're just gonna block out the inner part here. That shadow, and we're gonna go all the way up to the brow. Making sure that it's even and lined up kind of just right over our pupil and going straight up. Now that I have that down, I'm going to take the excess off on the back of my hand and then feather that just a little bit. So to give that a little bit of dimension, because we want the brightest line almost right in the center, so to give that a little bit of dimension, we're going to take Romance right here from the BH Opalescent palette, and I'm just going to pat this all over. This will be kind of like our base, and then we'll use a brighter shade in the center. Sorry, I have to kind of dip into a couple different shadows from different palettes here. That just kind of was what worked out the best. Going into this extremely dirty Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, I'm going to take this first shade right here, and I'm going to press that onto the center, and this is going to give that beaming highlighted look right down the center. You want to make this as straight as possible, so if it's easier to use a brush to get a little precision, I would definitely do that. Okay, obviously this isn't very blended, so we're going to go back into our transition shades and just sort of try to blend over everything. I'm actually going to take this shade right here, which we haven't used yet, since it's a little lighter, and use this just right on the edge here to blend the edges, and then we'll deepen it up again. Okay. Just to make sure that color is nice and precise, I'm going to take this in on a little shader brush and go straight up the center. Going back into the Soft and Sultry palette, I'm going to take this black on a small pencil brush and deepen up just the outer corner. And we'll just blend over everything one more time with our original crease brush. Make sure when you're doing this, now that that line of light pigment is there, that we don't blend over that at all. Taking that same black, I'm just going to stamp this across the lower lash line. Her bottom lash line is very black and very smoked out. I'm really going to pack on the black. Now that that's on, going back in with my pencil brush, I'm going to use this shade to smoke that out. And with our original transition shade, just going to buff over everything on the edges here. And then concealer will kind of clean up that mess right there. Taking a little bit of a liquid liner, I'm just going to line the upper lash line. We're doing a baby wing, just slightly. Then taking a black cream liner and a little angled brush, I'm just going to pack this onto my lower waterline. I'm really going to make sure that I fill in any areas of skin that might be showing through in between my lashes. Now we're just going to really pack on the mascara. Okay, we're doing pretty good. She definitely has some spikier looking lashes sticking up, so just like we did on this side, we're going to do a couple just individual lashes. I'm using these Ardell individuals, and I'm putting on about 3 long lashes towards the end in the middle of my eye, and then a medium and 1 short. Okay, you can probably still see a little bit of the lash glue, but it's drying and it will dry clear, so we are set with the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and we'll get started on the face. Okay, obviously it's looking a little crazy right now, but now when we tie in the face makeup and everything, it's gonna start looking really good. Look how fun. I actually feel like we did a pretty good job. I mean, obviously, like, we're not twins or anything, but it's pretty good. We're going full coverage today, so I'm gonna use the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, and I'm almost out. This is all that is left, so I'm gonna try to use it a little bit sparingly. Definitely gonna take it down my neck. Oh no, it broke. Okay, well, we're still gonna use it. And we're gonna use a dense kabuki brush to blend this out. Just gonna squish it in there. Hopefully it stays a little bit, because I'm gonna layer up a little bit more. This is really sad that this is almost out. It's definitely not my shade, but that's okay. Okay, so I want something like the e.l.f. Camo Concealer that's going to be matte and very full coverage, because her skin's a little bit matte and obviously very highlighted and flawless and perfect. Since my foundation is a little bit darker than it should be, this concealer is going to be way too light. So what I'm going to do is mix these on the back of my hand and then use a brush to apply them and blend them out. So she's definitely known for her highlighting, so we're going to make sure we do it justice. Obviously her face shape is a little different than mine, so it's not going to be exact. Definitely take this concealer up a little bit into this inner corner here. Because of all the dark shadow, I want to make sure that there's still a little bit of brightness. And I'm just going to pounce my foundation brush over the edges of all of that, because I did add a little bit more of the Camo Concealer under the eyes, so it's a little light. But I think once we bronze and everything, it should end up looking okay. I'm going to use my Coty Airspun powder to set my entire face. She definitely has a little bit more of a matte look, so I want to make sure that we mimic that. This shade is the, I think this is the translucent one, but I actually do feel like it darkens my concealer a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. So if you're really fair like me, maybe get the fair shade instead of translucent. That's working to my advantage right now, considering my concealer was a little bit too light. But on an everyday basis, I would need something a little bit lighter than this. So this is the Translucent Extra Coverage. There's like a fair shade. That's the one that I would go for, I think, now that I know. So if you are fair, grab that one, not translucent, because it's not translucent at all. Now that we've buffed that powder in all over, I'm going to use the Milani Silky Matte Bronzing Powder in Sunlight. This is a perfect shade to kind of both contour and bronze for my skin tone. And we're really going to layer this up because she goes real bronzy, real contoured especially. So we're just going to really tuck this under the cheekbones, angling upwards because she has really high cheekbones too. Again, obviously I'm not going to be able to like mimic her face shape exactly, but we're going to try to go for, you know, that snatched, really contoured kind of vibe. She does a lot of bronzing on the forehead as well. I'm sort of taking this onto my cheeks a little bit too, just as like a blush, because I don't know if we're going to do anything too crazy for our blush. She definitely has a very nude look going on for the complexion. Go ahead and contour a little under the chin and just slightly drag it down the neck a little bit too. Since she does have sort of just this nude kind of bronzy look going on for the complexion, not a lot of color or anything, I'm going to use this Catrice blush box in the shade Bronze to blush. And I'm gonna definitely use this almost in the same place as my contour, just a little bit higher, so it's still almost being used to sculpt the skin instead of like give your cheeks like a plump apple-y kind of a look. I'm even going to slightly dust this on the forehead. Nothing very strong at all, but just a little bit because I love this color and I feel like that's needed. I'm looking now and she definitely has a slight nose contour, so I'm going to go back into our bronzer shade and use that to kind of slightly contour the nose. I'm not doing anything too crazy, but we're just going to kind of drag it straight down. I'm going to clean that up by taking my translucent powder just down the sides. And that way it doesn't give my nose like a larger look, and we're just going to fluff that up. This way my contour line is nice and skinny, making my nose look a little more pinched. And then we'll just take some right directly down the center just to kind of brighten that back up a little bit. There's two really good pictures of this makeup look that I found. One is this close-up version that I've been showing you. So this is really kind of more matte skin. I don't see a lot of highlight on the face or on the inner corner at all. Then there's this picture of the same makeup look, and she has a highlight on her inner corner, plus kind of down the center of the nose and on the cupid's bow a little bit. So I don't know which one's accurate and which one's Facetune. They're probably just separate occasions, but I think I will do just a little bit of highlight. Just taking my e.l.f. highlighter. I'm not going to do the cheekbones, I don't think. I'm just going to do the centers of the face. So chin a little bit, cupid's bow, nose slightly, and then my inner corner a little bit too. Just because I think that looks nice. Man, it is cold today. It looks like it's going to rain. It was so warm all last week here, like almost in the 80s, and now it's like back in the 40s or 50s and it's super cold. Okay, just wiping the foundation off my lips. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face with my Flower Beauty setting spray. Kind of spit at me a little bit, so I'm just gonna lightly, even though this sponge hasn't been used at all or dampened, I'm just gonna gently press to make sure there weren't any droplets. The mister on that setting spray is so nice, but just now I feel like it splattered a little bit. So hopefully we didn't mess anything up. This is so pretty. I'm getting very excited. Let's do our lip. So she has a very nice contoured lip. It's definitely a nude, but it's more of a pinky, almost mauve-y nude. And definitely heavy on the lip liner in both pictures, you can see. Okay, this might be a little bit dark, but we're gonna go into this Rimmel Lasting Finish lip liner in Coffee Bean. It's definitely kind of brown, so it'll give us a contour to our lips, but it's also a little bit more the purpley mauve side than like orange. And she really rounds out her lip shape, so I'm definitely gonna round out the edges of mine as well. Okay, definitely tried to round them out and make them a little bit more pouty. I don't know how this is gonna end up looking. This is also way too dark. So I'm gonna take my LA Girl lip liner in Nonstop Nude and kind of go over it almost. Okay, and then I think that this is gonna be the lip color we're gonna use. This is the CoverGirl Melting Pout Matte. And this is in the shade Current Nude. It turns out to be a little bit more mauve-y, so I think it'll be a good one. Now that that's on, I'm going to use a little tiny lip brush to just kind of feather the edges together. Okay, we've got that on. It's not blended perfect. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with this liner. The Rimmel liner, like, it gets like waxy and like gets really thick in certain places, but then picks up product in others, so I'm having a little hard time with that. Plus, the lip is a little bit darker than it should be, so I think I'm just gonna go over the whole thing with another lighter nude lipstick. Okay, I'm gonna use this Catrice Ultimate Color lipstick in Hey Nude. It's a little bit lighter. That definitely looks better. I'm still just gonna take a little lip brush and make sure the edges are melted together, I guess. Okay, I think that that lip combination kind of pulled it all together. I do have some weird spots here. That liner is just no good. I don't like it. At least that dark color. Maybe a lighter color would be fine, but it's a little bit tricky to work with. Okay, here is the final look. This was so fun to do. I want to do more like celebrity inspired makeup looks. So if you have any makeup looks or people that really inspire you and you want to see me try to recreate it, I would love to do more of these. Look how fun. I feel like I did the eye look pretty good. The lips are still, but whew, I think it all came together really nicely. Let's pull up her picture and see how well we did. Look at that. I actually feel like I did pretty good. I mean, obviously our skin tones are different. My lip is way darker than hers, but I feel like I did pretty good. I'm impressed with myself. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit of something different for me. I just felt like really playing with the makeup today. So hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you liked this kind of video. And again, if there's anyone else you'd like to see me try to recreate like one of their looks, then let me know. This was so fun. I'm feeling really good and I've got nowhere to go, so that's a bummer, but still super fun. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.